right, okay. This is a request on Brooklyn Beckham and Nicola Peltz Beckham. He did Peltz too, didn't he? Peltz. And because y'all know I suck at describing, explaining, educating, or telling you what's going on, I'm going to insert a clip that's going to break all this down to give you guys an idea of who they are. But shit, I didn't even know Posh Spice was that old, and to have, I think, is it 4 of them? 4 kids of her own or something? Yeah. And I'm like, damn. So Victoria Beckham from the Spice Girls, Posh Spice, this is her son. Brooklyn is her son. But I'll let the video tell y'all, and then we'll get back and we'll look at the energy around all of this stuff that's going on, all right? Check it out.
There is a power dynamic to the Beckham family that they put on the kids because Victoria and David Beckham are worth $450 million, so Brooklyn Beckham's entire existence is really defined by his parents' wealth, but there was a huge problem, and that's that he got out of that. Now it was Nicola Peltz, who has a lot more money than the Beckhams do because her father's multi-billionaire Nelson Peltz, who's owned a lot of food companies like Snapple. The problem is the Beckhams didn't like Nicola, and it really showed with how the wedding played out. Basically, the story that the media ran with was the whole feud was caused because Nicola Peltz didn't want to wear a wedding dress that was made by Victoria Beckham, and she wanted to wear a competitor's brand instead, and because that caused some internal fighting. Now it's come out from Brooklyn Beckham, his mom is basically a pathological liar who spread that story to try and defend herself, where instead the real story was that Nicola Peltz was actually excited to wear a wedding dress that was made by Victoria Beckham, but they had some arguments over the look of that, and Victoria had a hissy fit, so because of that she pulled the dress on the 11th hour, and they had to find a dress from another designer instead. Beckham also has come out saying there were so many weird things about the wedding where his parents absolutely blew it, with one example being the dance, where Nicola and Brooklyn were supposed to do their first dance as a married couple, but then Victoria Beckham decides to do this really weird thing where she comes on stage and starts interrupting the dance to dance with Brooklyn, and she started grinding on him in front of 500 people doing provocative dance moves, which really freaked him and everyone else out. It gets worse because the Beckham family are really close with Mark Anthony, so there was this moment where Mark Anthony was going to sing at them for the wedding, and he called Nicola Peltz up to be on the dance floor, and then right after he called Nicola Peltz up, he's like, okay, I want the most beautiful woman in the room to come up, enter Victoria Beckham. So basically on a girl's wedding day, she had her mother-in-law called the most beautiful woman in the room. But still, even after the wedding, Brooklyn Beckham and Nicola Peltz wanted to actually reconnect with the family, where they said, hey, they're celebrities, things are going to be a little bit weird, it was a bad day, but we'll move from this. So Nicola Peltz actually reached out to Victoria Beckham saying, hey, I think you and I should start working on charity together because my dog just passed away. She went to a groomer. The groomer did something wrong, and that's why my dog died. So we should work together on animal rights. And when Nicola Peltz proposes a daughter-in-law, mother-in-law activity, they go volunteer after the California fires to help displaced animals and also fundraise for them. But Victoria Beckham said no and actually stopped returning her calls, saying she didn't want to be associated with Nicola. Brooklyn Beckham has now publicly come out saying he thinks the entire reason why Victoria and David Beckham don't like Nicola Peltz is she gives Brooklyn Beckham freedom, where Brooklyn Beckham was always reliant on his parents, where he can't stay in the lifestyle he's used to without having their support, but because she has so much money, he has freedom now. And David Beckham's not holding back either, where he actually has went against his son and daughter-in-law, basically saying they'll get what's coming to them and they're being immature children, even though it seems like they're coming out with some really big issues, and David Beckham hasn't defended any of the points. To show who's guilty here, numerous people who went to the wedding saying Brooklyn and Nicola are right. And with that, I'm Charles Peralta. Please subscribe to learn something and don't get married.
Alrighty, y'all ready? Okay, let's get into their energy. I think what I'm going to do is a general overall read first, and then maybe break them two down, because I feel like they're not. This ain't it. This ain't it. What is up with these people with money and no love? Like, damn, like. This ain't it. I feel like he could end up being the one hurt the most in a connection. Brooklyn could. He's very invested. They're giving me an energy of like she's his escape, his form of rebellion. And she don't mind being that. Because she, Nicola, by the way, that's who I'm talking about. That's the wife. She also feels like someone that has a lot of revenge in her heart. So it's like she gives me an energy of strategizing to always get her claws or her teeth into something and never let it go or milk it or however you want to look at it. I just twitched. Yeah. Her thing is retaliation and revenge here is what I'm feeling, right? Welcome to my newbies. Hello to my oldies. My name is Diamond, and you are watching Pretty Blind Eyes. I feel a little tense, a little nervous. The readings held in this channel are for entertainment purposes only. The discussions held in this channel should not be taken as literal advice. I am legally blind, so I do read Braille on my cards to decipher what they are. But I am an overall intuitive reader. In the description box below, you can find several ways to interact with me, one of which is the availability to book private readings. That calendar is open. Thank you guys for all the love, support, gifts, donations, journeying with me, and patience. What I tell y'all? What did I tell y'all? It's a certain level of freedom that Brooklyn wants. Not to say that they had the boy thrown in a dungeon anywhere. I mean, even the post that he made was like, boy, what? All that money y'all got, you better go home somewhere and lay down. Like what is that? Like, he really wasn't, in my opinion, he really wasn't saying much. Like, is there something far more sinister? We could look at Victoria and see what's up. Because I do feel like some interesting Jezebel spirit energy there. But that also explains in a cyclical way how he ended up with someone like Nicola. That's what happens with men and they mommy issues. They end up attracting women like they mama. And that's why a lot of the mamas don't get along with the daughter-in-laws, because they see so much of themselves in them. But we won't get into it, I think. So for the most part here, yeah. This reminds me of that classic family where even you could even notice this pattern in the Jacksons. Like, a lot of them married young to get away from Joseph, to get away from the father. His father was strict. Now, I don't know what's up with David. He gives me pushover vibes too. He gives me he gives me pushover vibes too. But I'm gonna look. I guess we'll look at him and Victoria and compare them to Brooklyn and Nicola. I guess. Let's just look. Okay. Let's keep going here. But yeah. So he's giving me that. Like he wanted to escape something and be rebellious. 5 of Cups. I mean, what else would rich people do? Like, I mean. Oh my God, it's nothing, there's no issue. Like, I mean, what he was talking about is like, okay, family stuff. That's y'all family stuff. Like, there's nothing too over the King of Wands, Queen of Cups, over the top about things. Page of Pentacles, the Justice card. Yep. Nicola is only with him to seek some sort of revenge. This could even be not just towards the family, but because, just towards the family because of the family, but more so because of her identity and her not really hitting no markers in Hollywood and things like that. This is that. She's searching for an identity, and she's decided, I'm gonna try to find it in this connection like this. This guy want to escape. This is the perfect, and a lot of it could be like kind of subconscious, but I doubt it. This is all strategy. High Priestess. And and some people saying, oh, they're gonna follow Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's footsteps. Probably. There's probably a baby, and y'all know that don't require a reading. High Priestess. Let me see. High Priestess with the 5 of Pentacles and the 8 of Pentacles. I do feel like though he was trying to escape some sort of expectation that his family had for him in this line of work that they wanted him to do. Page of Cups, Ace of Swords, 2 of Cups. Yep, there was something he was marked to do when he was born. They may have had an astrologer or numerologist or something look at his chart and stuff. Queen of Swords with the Page of Wands. Yep, Hangman. And I think he's trying to escape that. I think that's the real exposure. What he's doing now is not exposure, and we all could see that very clearly. Oh, dress. Oh, but she had 3 different dresses, and it's just like, if this is what rich people problems are, I mean, I don't know what to tell y'all. Like, oh God, they're just so stressed. Like. Even their jobs is like, oh, we showed up to all the fashion shows and all the cool. Wow, you really pounded the pavement, huh? Like, I mean, child, Hermit card. Yeah, that's what I'm telling y'all. It's something else that hasn't been exposed, and it has something to do with the lineage and some sort of job that he's supposed to carry out. It gives Rothschild's energy and all of the quote unquote so-called 13 bloodlines and how they get down. And another thing though, I do feel like in his Instagram post, was it on Instagram? He hinted at it with the trademark thing. And a lot of people would know that, like, okay, they have a lot of money, of course they'll trademark their name, but I think it's something already going on with that. And like, I think, but as generations are born, maybe there's some certain clauses or a certain way that they have to do the last name to be trademarked and all that. He hinted at what the real exposure is. It's something there, but it ain't this. It ain't this. I think this was the, you know what I'm saying? The smoke, like I was gonna say a smoking gun, but it's that warning shot. You know what I'm saying? Shoot it in the air and like, okay, I'm showing y'all what I can do. So I mean, I don't. It's deeper stuff behind the scenes is what this feels like. But this shit right here ain't it. Seven of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, Two of Swords. But what he need to be careful about is if he keep coming with this, ain't nobody gonna listen to him when he really crying wolf though. So he can play those games with them all he want, but these elitist people been having they pros at this. Sure, he's a kid of it, but that's what he needs to realize too. You still a baby? You don't know what's what. And because I feel like they do that to each other. I feel like the kids don't be knowing everything right away. It's like they have this rite of passage from this to that to that. They find out each thing along the way is what I'm getting here. So I'm just saying like this ain't it. But you fuck around and cry wolf when the wolf really show up and you're fucked. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the warning is for him. It's like don't play around with it. What Joe Clark say? Don't fuck around with it. Do it expeditiously. You know what I'm saying? Go on, jump, get it over with. But he playing around, and he's thinking it's gonna control something. But it's no different than like a rebellious teen that think they know more than their parents, and they be out here fucking around. But the only difference is with these sets of people, they are business first, especially when their damn name is trademarked. Like, it don't get no more like with a thin line than that between family and business when the damn family name is trademarked. Like, it's just like, how do you know the difference between when someone is cherishing their last name because of a family connection or business? And I'm gonna tell y'all now, and y'all already know what I'm gonna say. This is it. Business first. Business first. And another thing, and we will get into her next, Nicola here. But yeah, he need to be careful. King of Swords, Ten of Wands, King of Cups, and the Seven of Swords. Yep, he need to be careful. There is a brother, one of the brothers I feel like of his that may because that's like I see him sliding him a letter or note or something. He's gonna sneak and stay in contact with him, one of them. But I was hearing won't none of them fucking with him, the other brothers. But excuse me. But yeah, one of them is. But he got to tighten this up. If he really want to come with the real shit, he got to come real. He got to come correct. It's something. It is something, but it ain't this. You know, I can't never stress that enough. What it is though, the hint was the trademark part, and them needed. And I think that's the reason why he's coming out with all this other riffraff about, you know, the mama dancing on him and all this other stuff. It is just a little warning shot. You know, he want to prove to them that he will take things to the media, but it's like real mediocre right now. It's like riffraff. But yeah, I'm trying to think of something else. What else he said that? But I think it's mostly that part, because tangled in that is crossbreeding, well, interbreeding and all that other kind of stuff that we've heard about from conspiracy theories. And these conspiracies turned out to be very true later on down the road. We find out it's something like that. It's something like that. It's something that comes with the territory of the trademark. They're saying that's ceremonial. So even they're saying even the wedding he's about to have as a clean slate, he thinks that's his way. They're saying of salvation. He think that's his way of cleansing his soul from things that he knew prior to them wanting him to sign his name off for it to be trademarked and for the wedding. That wedding was supposed to be a lot more ritualistic is what I'm getting. But because it wasn't, that's why Victoria was up in there cutting up and shit, because he didn't enter into the next level of the threshold from what I'm getting here. So yeah. And so them wanting to do another one is still, I feel like it's still gonna send him into a loop. It's still gonna send Brooklyn into a loop, because even on the side of his wife, Nicola, it's still strategy. It's still, for her, it's still about like retaliation and revenge. So he's still gonna end up in a pickle. He's still gonna end up in a pickle. He's trapped either way. See, Two of Wands, crossfire. King of Pentacles here with the Three of Swords. Is that David right there? Three of Swords, Three of Wands, Devil card. Yep. Again, the reason why this is this big thing going on is because I feel like even David, his father, Brooklyn's father, may feel like he reminds him so much of him. So he's being reflected back to the way he's a sucker for women like Victoria. Like masculine women. Yeah. All right, so let's look at Nicola next, and then we'll look at, I don't know, them, the parents. But that's why they like her at these two, because these two are reflecting so much of themselves within this situation. But it's no love. Like he feels like he's into Nicola, but it's just because Nicola is an escape for him. That's all. So he won't have to adhere to the next step of initiation. You know, whatever that is. Whatever that looks like. Little finger pricks or whatever they be doing. They're showing the gold tooth thing where they got their wisdom teeth. That's rebelliousness. And it's making a mockery. That's why they so damn. That's why they pissed off at them. It's making a mockery at a certain ritual that they do that's like that. But they, instead of whatever they want them to do, they use their wisdom teeth. So for people that thought that was weird, you are not off. It was weird because it's weird. Why is it weird? Because it's weird. Because it's ritualistic. But it's a mockery of the real ritual that they wanted and needed them to do amongst this, maybe in the midst of or during the actual wedding. That was the front face of a ceremonial ritual, of a threshold that Mr. Brooklyn was supposed to walk through, and he's rebelling against that. So the real exposure is somewhere all up and around that next level of the bloodline and all that. So Nicola here. So yeah, and she just helping him just be, she bored, right? She's a nepo baby, like she ain't got nothing else better to do. So yeah, we can be a little rebellious. See, Justice card, she's putting in his head like, you gotta be a man. You gotta stand up for yourself. And it's so uncanny to me from what I'm seeing, because I feel like Victoria gave David, is that his name, Dave or David, the same lectures, but not as strongly. I feel like she was a little more submissive to David because of whatever, pool David has. Queen of Cups, Page of Pentacles. What did I tell you, Justice card? Okay, so there's also something that there's something that's going to backfire on Nicola regarding something she's going to want Brooklyn to co-sign for her. So what she wants out of this deal is, first of all, to gain popularity off of what's going on now. So she's happy that she boosted his little head up to like put, fire off the warning shot or whatever. But it's to get everybody bent out of shape so that she could, it would not surprise me if they don't try to do, it's like she may try to use him to do some sort of reality show or something. Wait a minute, didn't Meghan and Harry do a documentary on Netflix? See, it's just, no one's lying. Everybody's seeing the play for what it is. They kind of just following their footsteps. But one thing I can say is that this is just the beginning of more well-known people going against their parents, especially the moms, and trying to expose the moms. Oh, another hint they are saying that is that he hinted at, but he was dancing around, was her dancing inappropriately with him. But I do feel like Nicola is the one that's getting in his head, like, well, what's your mom is weird, like, what does she love you like her own son and all that kind of stuff. And I forgot the actual terminology for like when moms act a certain way towards their son. Some people say but it's weird because she is married, but I'm trying to see if any of the other brothers had it. No, they picked him to do something. I don't know if it's because of what he's born under with his natal chart, or if it was based off of the order that he was born. They're saying both. So yeah, there's a big responsibility here that was expected of him. I think may have been thoroughly communicated to him, and he's trying to rebel against it. He don't wanna enter through that initiation. Ace of Wands, Nine of Wands. Will it be exposed? Wheel of Fortune. Seven of Pentacles. Oh, but with Nicola here, yeah, this shit is gonna backfire right here. The interesting part about all of this is that we're thinking that maybe the Beckhams will get exposed, but I think there's a lot of scandal and stuff around Nicola here that's gonna be exposed. Some footprints, some old documents and stuff could come up with her. All right, and then there's the Emperor here with the King of Swords and the Ace. I told y'all she got a lot of revenge going on, but this is the guy she really wants right here. So again, she's just using him in so many different ways. The weather was right, the timing was right, so it just looks right, because Brooklyn was looking for an escape. But there's an Emperor, King of Swords guy here. And let me see who this King of Cups is. To be honest with you, this may sound a lot more scandalous, but I think she's more in love with one of his brothers. This shit is crazy. Three of Cups with it. Yeah. I think she's more in love with one of his brothers. And then there's a King of Pentacles here. There's three dudes here. There's an Emperor that's a little older than her. Could be a yacht man. And then there's a King of Cups and a King of Pentacles that she'd prefer over Brooklyn. She ain't digging him like that. But because she knows he's vulnerable and he wants an escape, and she just got a lot of time on her hand to be vengeful and stuff. That's what this is. That's what the play is for now. She gives me a live in the moment kind of energy. She's still looking for an identity outside of her family too. But it ain't gonna hit. Nothing's gonna hit. And I think that angers her because she don't really have her own identity. Five of Swords, Four of Cups with the Eight of Wands, Four of Wands, and the Chariot card here, Exhibition. But again, in retrospect to what was supposed to take place during the first wedding with the ceremony, again, they're going to make a huge mockery out of it. That's what they're doing. They're trying to do this reversal kind of thing, or this inadvertent kind of, or is it inverted? Kind of, it's weird. It's like a flip outside. It's the same hat, but flipped outside from inside out, kind of reverse thing going on. They're just making a mockery. They're going to use the new wedding to make, or this new, like renewing the vows thing, thinking that it's reversing something. So they could be seeing someone too. But like I told y'all, these witches going to be exposing them too. So if they are going to someone, which it do feel like it, but it almost feel like Nicola is more into it than he is, and she just brings the information to him. Why? Because she's also inquiring about him too. Yeah, so she there's some backstabbing energy here with her in Brooklyn. She doesn't love him at all. He's a stepping stone for her, is what they're saying. And Victoria and David know it. They know it too, but at the same time, that's why he's cornered in the sense of either way he turned, he's going to be used for some sort of gain on the behalves of people that he's supposed to love. Four of Pentacles. Let me see. Knight of Wands, Four of Pentacles. Is this him? King of Wands. Yeah, there she is, Queen of Wands with the Six of Pentacles. Yep, she's just making him think he, can piss over the top of his head now. If y'all don't know what that means in the South, my grandma would tell the men if they try to buck up at her or whatever, not buck up at her and disrespecting them, but when they, they play, argue, whatever, and she'll tell them you ain't grown so you could piss over the top of your head. So it's basically get the fuck out of my face because you'll never be grown. You know what I'm saying? You said, what? Piss over the top? Yeah, let me see you do it. You never, right? And so she knows he has that complexity about him, or that's an insecurity of him. They both have identity issues, but they're dealing with it. He's dumping all of his into her in hopes that she'll save him, and then she's using him as a stepping stone because he's vulnerable, just to get back at people who didn't pedestalize her. And that's what he does. I seen them interacting. I watched one of the little videos of them answering questions about each other, and I noticed he was, oh, you know, I love you so much, and your smile and all of this. And she'd be like, oh, thanks. But she don't really have, she have like standard general shit to say about him that, I mean, I could even say, I didn't even know anything about these people right here. I ain't know but nobody but Posh. I ain't know nobody but Victoria. So I ain't even, like I told you, I ain't even know she was that old. She had 4 damn kids. But what was I going to say? But what was I going to say about them? Oh, hopefully it'll come back. Hopefully it'll come back. But anyway, like she's just taking advantage of his vulnerable moments for her own victory. Yep, and to find her identity in something. Hangman with the 6 of Cups. I also feel like Nelson, that's her father, right? I feel like he's in on something real sneaky too. It could be some sort of, I don't know if that's a money war or what, or if that could tie in the reason why the trademark wasn't, I mean, he didn't sign, whatever he said happened for the trademark. Nelson plays a huge role in that too. He wants it to be a certain way before it happens, but the plot twist with that is that he's going to get in on it with David and Victoria soon too. So, I mean, I don't know, we got a whole lot of drama that could come in. For sure. We do. All right, so let's look at the... Is someone at the door? Let me see. Nah. Oh, yeah, maybe. Hold on, guys. I'll be back. Okay, false alarm. I don't know what that was. So let's look at the parents and then get on up out of here. Yeah, I think the parents are gonna join forces. It's interesting. I'm not feeling Nicola's mom as much. Oh, when I say she never grew out of whatever this was as a kid when it comes to manipulating and strategy, and I'm the only this or that. So I don't know what the only could be. I don't know if it's because she could be the youngest or the only girl or it's something different, you know. But I think they say she has a sister and then all the rest are brothers, right? So she have like 7 siblings maybe. But yeah, she definitely takes advantage of that, and what she's gonna realize is that she's just good at manipulating, and you know, and she enjoys getting off on that. Yeah, she do. Now she just got to figure out a way to turn it into money. And what do we have? You know, you prey on vulnerable people to get that done. Now, as far as those dudes, I don't know, them just dudes she really do like. They give me, you know, they're not like Brooklyn at all. I mean, one might be like I'm seeing a rifle. One of them might like to hunt. They rough. They, you know, they're not soft like Brooklyn. And what, he be cooking for her and everything, right? I'm telling you, she the masculine one in this connection. It's not gonna work. But I mean, they might stick it out just out of, you know, being not out of their pride, out of them not wanting the parents to be right. But I don't know. Once that daddy of hers joined forces with Victoria and David, I mean, you know. Let me see, 5 of Swords, Page of Swords, 8 of Wands, Hierophant. Before you know it, see, they're not showing the parents like that. Before you know it, Nicola is going to try to convince Brooklyn that it's okay for her to do something with a certain male here, because this male has some sort of entity or empire that she's going to want to work for. So again, he's just a stepping stone to get attention, for her to get attention and stuff. But There's a stronger force she wants to reciprocate with. Temperance card with the Judgment card. Let me see. 8 of Swords. 7 of Swords. It feels like to me she's going to actually ask him to calm down, not be so public. You know, give the no comment to anything that may come up when she starts dealing with this guy for some sort of opportunity. Ace of Swords with the King of Wands and the High Priestess and the Magician card. Yep, that's what I'm telling y'all. If she seek any psychic advisory of any sorts from any type of spiritual being, this person already sees this as a certain dude that she's more interested in and want. I feel like I'm hearing from the public. I feel like she already cool with him. This some what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe flamingo behavior. Like this dude could already be spoken for, and she's just waiting for them to fall off or waiting for a window to like get in with him. Like she just did. When I say this girl is only with Brooklyn because she's bored and because she can't do what she really want to do. That's all this is. Okay, all right. And I don't think they lying about the brainwashing thing. Why? Because this is the thing about these elitists and their children. They do train them to be that way, but where it backfires is that if anybody comes in and mess around with the program, they become their puppet. You know what I'm saying? You just training a puppet. But you can't pick. It's almost like a bullet that ain't got a name on it. You can't pick who they are, who they end up being servants to. And that's usually when it backfire on these types of parents like this. And that's why they get all bent out of shape when they end up with a woman that's, controlling or vengeful and stuff, because it's just like it backfired. Like we programmed you to be submissive to us. And now you're running around just being submissive to, and in their minds, like Brooklyn, he's like, no, I'm my own man. Da, da, da. No, he's been programmed too long. It's going to take some serious hypnotherapy and stuff to really reverse anything that he's been trained to do since he was born. Because this is strong elitist stuff. And they start training the kids at 1 and 2 years old or whatever. So, that'll be a lot to try to work off and reverse. So that's all this is. It's like us witnessing just programming backfiring on the family. Like he was trained to be a puppet, but he's supposed to be their puppet, not no one like Nicola. But the thing is, even with her, like he's gonna always attract those types anyway, no matter what. 10 of Cups, 6 of Swords, 10 of Cups. Was there a near-death drowning or something? I feel like somebody plays back somebody either drowning or a near-death. Could there be a kid that no one knows about that was lost to a? It's like I'm seeing a canoe or something. It looks like a lake house or something. I don't know who that is. That a secret or something going on? There's like a kid there that looks like they nearly drowned or they did. And I feel like this is on Brooklyn's side. This is on Victoria's side, not Peltz. Not the Peltz, but the Beckhams here. There's a missing boy or something is what I'm getting. A strange boy. 10 of Pentacles with the 9 of Pentacles. Yeah. Yep. There's a kid here. There's a missing kid. I'm hearing off the record or something. I don't know if they just didn't report it and they have all this money to. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. Or are they known for hosting? Is any of their family members known for hosting summer camps or something? Because that's what it gives me. Like, in summer camp when you have the canoes and all that, or they be playing water polo and all those kinds of things. It's given. See, there go the mom right there. Ace of Pentacles with the Empress. Somebody lost a daughter fucking around with the Beckhams or something here. I'm not a daughter, a son. This is giving like a summer camp energy. Now, and so that's something that may come out too. A missing kid, maybe a few of them. I just see them fighting. They all see them. You know, it's like no one helped him. You know, and maybe that's something Brooklyn witnessed as a kid. Maybe he was friends with this kid or something, or he felt bad for him. You know, a lot of times they don't let you talk to certain kids they want to sacrifice. This just, we're about to get up out of here. Look, conspiracies coming in, child. Yeah, but this boy is very important, is what I feel. That's why I was swept under the rug or something here. I don't know. He look about 6 or 7. And it's given like Jason Voorhees. It's given the Bad Seed, the new one. Well, an old one with the little girl that pushed the little boy in the water because she wanted his medal, and she killed him. She made him drown. There's a drowning on some property here of theirs with the kid. Now, whether I think it was, because it's like I just see them looking while he's fighting for his life. You know, it's just, get that adrenaline up. You know, so it could have been a sacrifice. Ace of Wands, Knight of Cups, Knight of Swords. So they are saying that. So the Brooklyn's biggest thing is he do want kids and he do want to bring kids in, but he don't want to bring them in too close to the family because to me I'm hearing selective breeding. Depends on look at the heartache. Depends on how the kids are made. Created, or kind of like, okay, this one's supposed to be a girl, and if it's not, then we have to off with its head. It's some very twisted energy here. So I think that's why we may not see Victoria and David respond, because they know that this is riffraff. They could be a little pissed off, but they know it could be worse. And if we do, they may smile a little bit. It ain't gonna be no big deal if they do respond, but I don't feel like they may not. They may not. I think he's like, Brooklyn is probably hoping that they come with some ammunition, like some a little heavier to attack him. But I think they're just gonna kind of let it mellow out, because I feel like somewhere in all of this they know he'll need them before they need him or something like that. They may have that kind of attitude with it. So this has been a very interesting reading. Did not expect that, guys. So someone could come up with about a missing kid too. I don't even know where that mom. Oh, damn. Okay, so the mom. I gotta get out of here. This is real. The mom could be tied into some sort of programming as well. She could still be alive, but not in a functioning day-to-day regular life kind of way. You know how, if any of you are familiar with the satanic ritual abuse? A lot of times sometimes they use certain, depending on their birth charts and stuff, they'll use certain women as breeders. Like they kind of treat them like they're cattle and shit. And that's what she's giving me. Like she's just a breeder, and they take her babies and child. Yeah, he just shooting the shit online at this point from what I'm getting. That ain't nothing. He ain't exposed shit. And he know he didn't. He just was trying to shake some shit up. You know what I'm saying? In other words, to say I could really tell what's really going on if y'all don't. I don't think he really wants them to leave him alone. I think there's something he wants them to grant him, and they refuse to do it. And so it's a behind the scenes war for something else. Maybe he has freedom on a certain level. But they need him for some odd reason. Yeah, they need him to be the one to do whatever this initiation thing is. So this is a full like conspiracy type of reading, guys, when it's all said and done. I didn't know. I thought we would be looking at a little bit of online drama, a little beef with the family, but no, it's some deep dark shit that he kind of like hinting around, but he ain't exposing nothing right now. But could he? Maybe we can do an update. I don't know. Just let me know. My name is Dami. You're watching Pretty Blind Eyes, and I'll see you next go around. Bye.